The 2011 H1 Unlimited Air National Guard hydroplane season produced more than the usual number of thrills and spills. When the final rooster tail settled, the sport had a new all-time winningest driver. A newcomer had scored a sensational rookie season. Several teams and drivers could look back on a very successful run through one of the most successful seasons in unlimited hydroplane racing history. The kickoff race for the 2011 Air National Guard Tour featured the 61st annual running of the Lucas Oil Indiana Governor's Cup at Madison, Indiana. Oh Boy Oberto, Miss Madison, the local favorite, took first place, but at a very high price. After 3 laps of the final heat, Oberto and Steve David were close behind and on the inside of Dave Vilwalk and Spirit of Qatar. Vilwalk spun out directly in front of David in the first turn of lap 4, resulting in Vilwalk's disqualification. Oh Boy Oberto unavoidably ran over the Qatar, narrowly missing the cockpit area. Oberto rolled over in midair and came down upright. Neither driver was seriously injured, but both boats sustained major damage. David and the hometown team were declared the winner, as per the H1 Unlimited rulebook. The 102nd running of the APBA Gold Cup presented by the Detroit Yacht Club saw Dave Vilwalk score his 9th victory in that famous series on the Detroit River. This put him one ahead of the late Bill Munsey. Only the retired Chip Hanauer, with 11 Gold Cup wins, has more. 2 of the 3 boats damaged the week before at Madison, the U-96 and the 21, made the scene at Detroit. The Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison team leased a backup hull from the Mike Jones organization and hired relief driver John Zimmerman to fill in while Steve David convalesced. A heroic rebuild effort by the Elstrom team with a big assist from Ed Cooper and friends in Evansville, Indiana, had the 96 back on the water. Vilwalk and Spirit of Qatar jumped to an early lead in the Gold Cup finale and were never headed, finishing a mile ahead of the rest of the field. J. Michael Kelly was physically second with the brand new Degree Men 88, but received a 1-lap penalty for encroachment and officially finished 4th. Jeff Bernard in Graham Trucking battled with Scott Liddycote in Valken.com for several laps before Liddycote overtook Bernard on lap 4 and took 2nd place behind the front-running Spirit of Qatar and the penalized Degree Men. Driver Dave Vilwalk and owner Eric Elstrom made it 2 victories in a row on the Air National Guard Hydroplane Series Tour with Spirit of Qatar at Kennewick, Pasco, Richland, Washington. Vilwalk and Elstrom took first place in the Tri-Cities Lamb Weston Columbia Cup, 3 weeks after their triumph in the APBA Gold Cup at Detroit. 14 unlimited teams, the largest turnout of the year, attended the 46th annual Tri-Cities race. These included the Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison and driver Steve David, making their first appearance since the crash a month earlier at Madison. The Oberto team's presence at the Tri-Cities was made possible by a round-the-clock repair effort led by crew chief Mike Hansen. Oh Boy Oberto led out of the first turn in the final heat and stayed in front for 3 full laps. Spirit of Qatar passed Oberto at the start of lap 4 and went on to claim the victory. Dave Vilwalk thus accomplished a grand slam for the weekend, finishing first in all 4 heats entered, in addition to being fastest qualifier at a speed of 160.892 on the 2.5-mile Columbia River course. Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison scored their 2nd victory of 2011 in the 61st annual Seattle Seafair Albert Lee Cup on Lake Washington. They snapped the 2-race winning streak of Dave Vilwalk and Spirit of Qatar, which finished 3rd at Seattle. The warm-up period, the race before the race, proved crucial in the final heat of the Albert Lee Cup. Oh Boy Oberto pilot David timed his start differently than the others. Oberto grabbed the inside lane at the 1-minute mark, thereby forcing the other boats to run a wider and longer track. Oberto hit the starting line at full speed and never looked back. Quoting Valken.com pilot Scott Liddycote, "Steve leapfrogged right around us. That was a pretty good move on his part." Liddycote and Vilwalk battled head-to-head for 2nd place until lap 3, when Liddycote pulled a rooster tail length ahead of Vilwalk. who was experiencing mechanical issues. The first 3 boats crossed the finish line 2 rooster tails apart. The outcome was in doubt right down to the last 10 seconds of the race. The 5th stop on the 2011 tour, the Air National Guard Championship at San Diego, signaled a return to victory lane by Dave Villwock and Spirit of Qatar. This was Villwock's 9th victory on Mission Bay, which is more than twice as many as Chip Hanauer, who has 4. 10 teams attended the 44th annual H1 Unlimited event in San Diego, which hosted its first race in 1964. For 2011, the competing boats were given lane assignments on the basis of random draw, rather than by total points. For the final heat, Miss Red Dot and Kip Brown had lane 1. Villwock and Spirit of Qatar started in lane 2. Spirit of Qatar led out of the first turn and throughout. Miss Red Dot stayed within Qatar's rooster tail length all 5 laps. Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison started in lane 5, but worked up to 3rd place. Villwock clinched the 2011 Drivers' Championship, his first since 2007 and his 10th since 1996. For only the 3rd time in their history, the Unlimited hydroplanes plied their spectacular trade in a location far removed from their traditional Western Hemisphere setting, with a race in the Middle East at Doha, Qatar. The 2011 Oryx Cup UIM World Championship provided plenty of competitive action for the fans, but will likely be remembered more for its unexpected outcome. Steve David and Oh Boy Oberto Miss Madison crossed the finish line first, ahead of Scott Liddycoat in Falcon.com, Dave Villwock in Spirit of Qatar, J. Michael Kelly in Degree Men, Jeff Bernard in Graham Trucking, Greg Hopp in Leland Unlimited, and Jimmy Shane in FormulaBoats.com, in that order. Then it was determined that David, Villwock, and Kelly had each jumped the starting gun by less than a boat length and had a minute added to their time as per Unlimited rules. This elevated Liddycoat, Bernard, Hopp, and Shane to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions respectively in the corrected order of finish. For the unexpectedly victorious Liddycoat, the Doha win with Falcon.com was his first ever as an Unlimited driver. Throughout the 2011 season, there were many references to a long and successful career for the Suffolk, Virginia resident, who wrapped up the season by saying, "It's not the way I would have liked to win the first one, but I'll take it. It's been a great year, and this just topped it."